Welcome back. Once again, exploring the world of Mushoku Tensei, having a labyrinth now somewhat defeatable. Roxy being saved, and a quick way home on the horizon. What was the man god complaining about? There's nothing to be regretful about. I'm expecting the worst, but I'm not sure what may or may not occur. The amount of time that we're spending with Paul does bring a few worries to mind, though, considering he made up with Elena Elise as well. But we have to find out. With only a few small episodes left before the end of the season, is it going to end on a high note? We'll have to find out. Luckily, Mushoku Tensei is nothing if not a journey, both visually and a way of trying to outdo its competitors in the genre. Something that, so far, it's not really failed at. I hope you're ready, so sit down, grab a drink, because we're about to begin. Finding more tips and tricks to delve deeper into the labyrinth. They've made good progress so far, so how can they back down now? That's a good call. Well, I hope, for everyone's sake, they don't need to use them, but they are raising a few flags right now. Everything can be left unsaid. Yeah, it can wait. Now, it might just be my overactive imagination, or the fact I've seen other medium where they're, setting up moments like these just for it to be, well, foreshadowed, really, is probably the right word. How many times now has there been conversations? Don't worry, we'll speak later about it. Like with what's going on with Roxy, the two swords. But, I asked for it, didn't I? I wanted more action and danger that they're all facing in the animations, so I'm expecting in this episode, if nothing else, to be up there. Whether or not Hidegami was right and I'll end up regretting it is another thing. And this sight before them. No wonder the expedition vanished those years ago, but my question now, is the Hydra itself going to be animated? He's lost his mind, just charging straight in. He sees the goal at hand. Is the Hydra itself going to be animated or 3D work? I think I got my answer just there. But impressive footwork. Also, the magic just bouncing off, and yet his sword removing some heads. He is skilled. Camera angles. Good way of getting them back, actually. The issue with basically half the team being rendered not useless, but at least plans ruptured, not being able to use the magic effectively. And it's a Hydra. Oh, that looked a bit rough. Immediate healing. You're not going to be able to get him back, are they? Wow. Going a little, maybe not off model, but strong emotions right there. Come up with a plan. Don't just, rush in headlong in danger. I understand why he lost his cool and ran in like that, but they'll get them all killed. If that was just a scratch, though. And if she is encased in crystal, they don't need to act rashly right now. Is that the... I get the question. Yeah. The infighting doesn't really help with their situation. I mean, that is Rudy in a T, isn't it? He's not one to rush to extreme emotion or anything. Wow. Half of his age she's been missing, so let's figure out a good plan. He's laying things up pretty matter-of-factly. Yeah, they can have a go at each other once again later on. I mean, they've had experiences, of this kind of fighting before, but giving them all some hope there. Okay, two of them having somewhat of a knowledge or history with the crystals. Yep, a Hydra, bad enough by itself, one that can resist magic. Can they extract some of those crystals and, use that as some equipment later on? Are they creatures of old? Does it make them stronger? That's a good question. Well, yeah, we did see there was a little bit of a area that the magic was being erased at. But do you want your mage to be frontline fighters and getting close? We talk about quarterizing the wounds and get into Heracles, proper Greek mythology. Anyone here well versed in fire magic? It was just geese with oil and a lighter. Yeah, his head is in the game. I mean, it's a good initial plan, but they're going to need a word or two before this. Getting back into it, the morale needs to be picked up. Oh, just the 5 of them. But there are 6 members in this little squad. To be fair, yeah, after the grand teleportation incident, actually being able to find them all, and Zenith being potentially savable, probably a lot better than a lot of the civilians that were caught up in it all. Dependable, yep. Level-headed. And considering he's got a home and a wife and whatnot. I mean, that is also, it's a major weakness in him, but one of his strengths. He battles by instinct and knows how to do it well. Okay. No sense of hesitation in his voice there. Was that a small test or... He does put a lot of trust in him. A little, bit of respite and break there. And it's already having a nap. Do you think Rudy could quagmire and stop it, sink it into a bit? The fact that even without the Devil Eye, Porter is seeing these movements and reacting to it all. Yep. Stay in his wake. He'll create the opening. I don't think he needs to be told. Wide area of effect. Got it. Didn't leave it up to Alina Lise. Yep, does look like it's taking effect there. Now what? Just a few heads more? Nice lines. Nice squares. Good teamwork and covering for one another, while Paul just goes in full on the offensive. If he can keep it distracted while they set up for the next round. Dwarf. Oh shit. To be fair, we know Rudy's good at magic, but being able to hit those stumps on the move while it's flailing from being hit without missing. It's like, oh, okay, great. This can't heal. Remove the wound and do it from further back. The fact that Hydra is smart enough to know and learn. No wonder it's a guardian of this labyrinth. How many heads left? Just those 3? Oh no, not Godzilla. Look at Geese run. To be fair, let her get there as much as possible. A barrier of water, his preferred element. How much steam is this releasing, though? And what's gonna give out first? The Hydra's breath or his magic? One more. This is going quite well. It's a little too well. Don't let your guard down. Yeah. Hesitation is defeat. Ah, shit. Nice sound effects for the monster, though. Earth. The earth spike from within. How good is the healing magic? I mean, I don't think he needed to, go fully in like that, but it worked. Spare the moment, kind of last hurrah. Can it be healed? And it's going to take a lot to get the stain out of his robes, at least. Oh, this is a long chant. This is full. Oh, it got back a bit. Can you multicast it? Is there a spell good enough to regrow lost body parts? About that. If they are locked in shock... Is it crushed? Oh, not crushed. Eviscerated. Bifurcated. Healing? Is this the regret that Hitagami was on about? There's some knife in the old dog yet. He lived long enough to see their success and him stand up. The savior of one at the cost of another. How is she going to take the news? How's Norn going to take the news? A little early to say anything. This isn't the triumphant return that I think any of them expected. They're back. How quickly before those smiles turn to despair. You know, a travelling companion that's been with them for years, knowing that the mother was part of his party back then. Also, did they have to leave him back in the labyrinth? I didn't think of that. They could, you know, bring her out, but could they risk... Oh, great. A candle flame, if you really want to harp her home on fleeting... Okay, here we go. Ah, okay. Dungeon ceremony like this. Yeah. No amount of healing can really bring that back now. I mean, she's been asleep for a while. Quite lazy, this one. After years encased in crystal... I'd be surprised if it was just an immediate return. So 4 days? That's pretty good going. Huh? Jesus. Great. So, at the loss of Paul, who, the father figure, the leader, the one they could revolve around, going in successfully rescuing Zenith, who, is suffering from brain damage or extreme amnesia at the very, very least. Yeah, there is no success really to be had here, other than they've found her, they've released her from that crystalline prison. And now if they're, losing one parent figure, gaining another one, but she is severely handicapped. Good thing Rudy's got a nice big home. The glimmer of hope on the horizon of gaining their family back, just for it to be rendered out like this. That is a shocking blow, I guess, not just to the family, Rudy, the team, but everyone that knew Paul, for better or worse. He was a man with a lot of connections. I will say I got some good bits in this episode. I've been asking for some strong fighting animation. We definitely got that in spades. Some of the footwork and choreography there, let alone the spell effects. The emotion in motion. Before a team like this, not really doing any preparation, going into a fight against a Hydra after just seeing it once and overcoming it and defeating it, they would not have done it without him. He was, the one removing all the heads. And the fact that he could not only pierce its hide but remove pieces of it, and yet Elise couldn't, her blade got stuck. Was it just sheer willpower that was getting him through? And, right up until that final fight, Rudy and Paul not exactly getting on in the best of terms, and yet in his final moments, Paul recognizing, they've done well, they've secured a lot, they've passed the challenge that they had. And not only accepting his son, but putting that full trust in him, knew that he could handle his own. This was a fight that was going to be deadly. They knew some of them could die. I guess he was kind of pleased that at least it wasn't Rudy. But even with the 4 vision, being able to see, still being frozen in the moment, God damn it, Rudy. It's like the world was against him then. But then again, he's not exactly battle hardened and ready against this kind of foe. Well, counterpoint, he did face up against the dragon god, so he does know what fear is. I've just realised I've been way over in the corner. This show being one that is going to go down for a while in my memory banks. There are other shows which have really kind of hit on certain elements. Konosuba being one of the first ones that I watched, and therefore has been living rent-free in my mind for a while. Made in Abyss. Maybe even some of the not-so-adventure-y ones, like Nishijo or Haikyuu. Mushoku Tensei is one of the anime that is going to be with me for quite some time. I think it's going to be difficult not to compare it to others, or have other shows compare itself to Mushoku Tensei, because it has done such a stellar job at what it's trying to portray here. A story, an isekai story where the past of the person doesn't necessarily dictate his actions per se, or what his knowledge of the world, but more his insecurities and issues, and overcoming those in this one, while still giving a coherent story, massive amounts of world building, and some really nice fantasy-esque, well, fantasy tropes, I don't know why esque. And since fantasy is my go-to genre over pretty much everything else, I've been enjoying it quite a lot. And with it being a show which takes the difficult path, and sometimes, realism, ways of people, acting, getting trauma from events in their lives, trying to overcome it, re-establishing yourself, settling down. How often do you see that in anime? And yes, I am just rambling to ease the pain. Not for, I guess, the fact of losing Paul, because I steeled myself from that, I think, before this even episode aired, before I watched it. Setting up so many flags, I assume one of them was going down. If it's going to be anyone, probably him. Well, either him or the dwarf. They're either going to be big moment, or just member of the party goes down, but we haven't really had much interaction with him. But yeah, my sadness now is going to stick around the rest of the family. The two girls, Norn and Aisha. How they're going to react after the news of the come home. Successful journey, they've returned with the mother, yay, but there's no happiness to be had here. Wow. How many stories would also touch on the fact of this kind of impediment? Sure, we've had amnesia shit before. Not really that rare. But if it's going the route that I think it is, and loss of a lot of motor control and function, maybe even brain damage to a point where, sure, you've got your mother back, but now she just needs constant care. Has there been a show which does that? Without it being a founding point of any of the characters before? And in the next meeting with Hidegami, are they going to be like, told you weren't going to like what you found? It'll be even more of a piss take if Hidegami gave some words of wisdom. So, you know what you should have done? This way, you wouldn't have lost a parent. How much prior knowledge and oversight does this man god have? Well, that's all for future panic to work out. Right now, I'm going to need to sit back and take in everything that I saw. So, if you enjoyed, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. If you want to give me some words of advice and wisdom, don't leave it too late. Let those of you who care about and mean most to you know exactly how you feel. But make sure to get some rest to come back and watch more anime. That's what it's all about, right? If you would like to help come through in a matter of urgency and help my channel survive, consider joining onto my Patreon, because thanks to Sal, Guado, Kite, Wolfie Sensei and everyone else, this channel may not even need to lose an arm, but most of its dignity. But then again, that was gone a long, long time ago.